Hi, good evening all. Today in this session, we are going to learn about variables and data types in ABAP. And here it's a clear roadmap of today's session. It's a first we'll discuss, understand what's the variable and how they are declared. Next we will learn about elementary data types, including numeric, character and date, time and variable length types. Then we'll look at complex data types as a structures or internal tables, and after that we'll discuss about and reference variables and system fields, system variables. Finally, and what's the constants, and we'll discuss about constants and the difference between its a variable, constant, literals. Yes, what is variable? Here it's a variable. What is variable exactly? It's a simple definition, and a variable is a named data object that store a value in memory. And so why this variable use? This main purpose of variable use, they let us store information and process it and change the value with ABAP statements. This is the main purpose of variable. And here it's a simple example and syntax also. It's how it's a variable declare and how to initialize. Okay, and here it's a data, it's a data type, it's a variable name, it's a minimum underscore value, it's a type high. I means it's a integer. This variable, it's a type declared as a integer. Then it's a value to 10. This value we are by initial value it's a 10. Then after that, if you will write, it's a write statement. Then we are this variable name, after write statement following this variable name, and then after it's a click on activate or click on it's a execute. Then this value whatever we are initialize that 10 value, okay, that one will show in output. This is the way exactly it's a variables, it's a declaration and initializing this time. Then next slide we'll discuss its types of variables and all the things. Now let's discuss about elementary data types. Elementary data types are two types and two categories. One is a fixed length and the second one is a variable length. Yeah, here it's a under fixed length we have it's a multiple. Again it's a numeric and character and hexadecimal one. Here numeric, here has mentioned it's a integer, float, packet number. These are it's a related to it's a numeric. And yeah, and integer actually by default it's a 4 bytes and floating point it's a 8 bytes and packet number also it's a 8 bytes. And yeah, next coming to it's a character. And character it's a two types. One is the character and it's C, and N is a numeric text. It's a text with numeric, it's a characters. Then it's a date and time also, and under it's a character, character data types. And finally it's a variable length. And variable length it's a two types. Again it's a string and X string. It's a belongs to these two. It's related to variable length. And now what we'll discuss, oh, remaining it's a hexadecimal. It's a hexadecimal. It's a most of the time it's a not used, just I don't know, I haven't seen anywhere and where exactly used, but we'll see later in upcoming sessions. Before slide and fixed length variables and variable length. Here actually it's a clearly mentioned was examples. And fixed length one is belongs to C, N, D, T, I and F and P. These are the fixed length fixed length types. And variable length types it's a string and X string. And yeah, example you can see in here, it says C is the character field, and string is the flexible, it's a text field. And when we working with test, we should choose the type according to whether we need a fixed length or it's a flexible length, and based on that one only we should select these variables. And yeah, next complex data types. And let's understand what's the complex data types, and complex data types, and what are the different types of the complex data types. And here it's a, first of all, it's a complex data types allow us to combine multiple lines, like how here is right. And we have it's a example, it's a types, it's a begin of ty employee, it's a name. Okay, under name, age, these are the multiple lines, and it's a combining to the and one structure, it's a ty employee the structure. Like this way actually it's a complex data type will work out. Here as we discussed, it's a two types of the complex data types. One is the structure type and another one is the table type. And a structure is a groups and different components together, for example. And here as we mentioned before, and an employee the structure can contain the name and age. And second one is the table types, and mainly these table types are used with the internal tables, and allow us to work with its multiple rows of the data. Discuss about reference variable. And this is a very important topic. And this is mainly this reference objects variables will use, and object oriented ABAP whenever we are working on it's a class and these all the things, right? And then only mainly this reference object reference variable use. And what's the reference variable? And that reference variable doesn't directly it's containing the complete data object. Yeah, we'll discuss more on this one, and later session. But now actually you can see in here how actually it's a syntax reference object, how it's a syntax. It's a basic syntax like this in data. It's a reference type and ref2. Okay, ref2. And again it's a type of value is the initial. This is the value the initial is not a mandatory. Okay, just and this is the, we'll discuss later on this one. Static data. Static data, it's a main, this life cycle is entire that program only. I mean it will not the static variables not use any other program, only that particular program we can use that static variables, and assigning and declaring variable and assigning values, and these all the things. Yeah, here it's a we can see use a persistent data object when its value must remain available between the repeated uses of the same content. I think for example you can see in here it's a count. Okay, on GB count of this one sometimes it's a increment, right? And in case if you will use it's by default we are assigning is 0, and after that somewhere we can use it's a GB count plus 1, and somewhere we can use it's a directly with a GB count again it's a 10, like that, right? Again we need to it's a clear it GB count, again it's a clear to 0, like it's a static variable, and entire program we can use that one. But other than that program we can't use, like it's a reference objects. Let's discuss about system fields, and this is a very important. And ABAP also it's a providing a special system fields that contain information. Actually it's supplied by the ABAP runtime environment. And in case if you want to get some information at the runtime, then you can use these all, it's a whatever it's a provided, it's ABAP, right? And by default these all the system variables. And mainly it's a all fields. It's a begin with sy semi hyphen. Okay, and after that if you want it's a date, it's a datum, and username, if you want username it's a uname, and t code, if you want to find out it's a t code, it's a runtime, then it's a sy hyphen it's a t code. Like this way actually it's a yes, it's provide it's a mini I think it's a many system fields, and based on our requirement we can use, and these all the things. And here it's a, you can mention sy host, sy hyphen it's a language, sy hyphen it's a mandate. Like this way it's a many things, and these are the very important, and always it's very useful, and because it's a provide it's a runtime information without requiring any calculator, retrieving it ourselves. And next, now let's understand about what's the literal and what's the constant, what's the difference between literal and constants, these are all the things. But basically what is the literals? And literal is the unnamed value. It's written directly in the source code. For example, and we can see it's the number 100 is a numeric literal, and test hello ABAP, this is also it's a character literal. It's a like this is the constant value, I mean it's a literals. And the coming to it's a constant, and a constant is a named data object, and whose value is fixed. Okay, we can't change. Okay, once we are declaring this I mean this constant value we can't change. Okay, and constants are usually when the when we'll use it's when the same fixed value is required in the different parts of the program, then only we can use these constants. And next, and here it's a variable and a constant literal, and these are the what the main difference between these all the things. It's a what variable and a constant and literal. And you can see here it's a variable has a name, and its value can change. Okay, here it's item, it's a variable, and a name it's a have, name have, and variables have can change value also. Okay, like example it's a data age type I, and for example constant, and the constant have a name, and value can't change. Okay, value can't change. And here it's a syntax or whatever it may, here example it's a constant max type value is 100. And next literal, and literal has no name, and even it's a we can't change value also. And like it's a numeric literal or stream character literals, it's a 100 hello, and these are the things. And it's a simple a value whatever it's written indirectly in the source code, this 100 or hello, we can't change it, and we don't have any name also. Next, here it's a quick recap and what we discuss exactly in that entire session. And first of all we discussed it's what is the variable, and how many types of how to declare variable. And after that it's a statement, data statements, and how we can use it to declare, and by using the data statement. And next, and we discussed let's say elementary types, and how many types and different types of elementary types. And one is the what's the one is it's a fixed length variable types, and variable length variable types. And again under it's a fixed length it's a discussed numeric, and characters, date, time, and these all the things and we discussed. And the second one is the variable length, and there we was discussed about a string and X string. And next it's a complex types, and it's a there are two types of complex types we discussed. One is the structure, and second one is the internal tables later. And we discussed, and reference variables, and reference variable. Then one more it's a static variable and a system variables, and these three we discussed. And finally we discussed what is the constant and literals. And after that it's a difference between constant, literal, and variables. And this is the entire session actually we discussed. And next, yeah, finally it's a practice activity, and let's apply what we have already learned. And here you can see it's a first one is a report. It's a by default it's came, and here it's a name is a variables, and we discuss. And if you want to, you can extend also this one. It's a constant, literals, data type, something like that also you can write. It's a program name. And after that you can see how it's a data. It's a age, it's a type is a I, and value 28. And this one is the numeric data type, and the second one the character data type, and the third one is the fixed one, constant. And constants how it's a maxes. Like this way actually it's a how we write in example, right? Same way you have a challenge, take a challenge. It's a like I add a some date variable, and add a string variable, and display system date, and add a comment, and change the variable values. Like this way you can also practice, and then it's a better understanding. And whatever you learn, right? And if you will practice every day, and then easily you should understand. And it's a reminder, remember also it's a long term. So I hope this session understood everyone. And yeah, thank you, bye.